Hi everyone, this is Sunette. In this video, continuing with redefining the word brother and sister, even sibling. Now having a look at the sister process and dynamic. Here, the defining, redefining, and living process is also a bit different because I found with my new family sister, through her opened up more words of expression inside myself that I hadn't allowed myself to live in my life. And yes, kind of in a way, one can say that I limited myself in thinking I can only express it within the word sister. But at the same time, really also not so much because I found it's always been a key inside myself in a way, if you will. Like I reached a stage, and this was also before I met my new family sister, that because of my and my current sister's relationship, this also much to do, just with our histories, the way our lives went, mistakes I've made, things like that. But, sometimes if you have a look at a strained relationship that you might have with one of your siblings, as much as you sometimes can change in yourself and your life, there comes a time where you can make mistakes in your relationship with someone where it goes in such a way that the relationship just never sparks up again. And it's not only with sibling relationships, it can happen with friendship relationships as well, family relationships. And I've also come across many people, and that also happened with a part of myself in a way where, so many people came to me saying, but I forgave myself and I changed and I want to try and show them that I've changed and I want to start again and I want to create a new relationship. Like I'm ready anytime. But that person just doesn't want to. I really thought that if I do all of this, at least I'd be given another chance, but that's not necessary to say. Unfortunately so. That person who you affected and affected themselves as well. I mean, any relationship that gets created or broken down or remains strained is in many ways a two-way, is a tango, it goes both ways. And even though the one can change and forgive and all of that, if this one doesn't decide to do it because that's them, that's their process, it is their life. In the end, the choice that they make in regards to that is their own. There is nothing more that you can do. And we all know when it comes to decisions and choices we make inside of ourselves, we alone inside ourselves have that last point. So no one and nothing ever influences that. When we make a choice, just always remember that and make a decision. You're always alone inside yourself in that fleeting moment that you make that decision and choice. Why? Because that shows each and every single one of us we are fully only alone self-responsible for the decisions and choices we make. We cannot ever blame anything or anyone else. So if they make that choice, it is theirs. You can't do anything else. You can't be angry at them, can't blame them. You can just continue trying to share and show and be who you are. But the mistake I've also made is doing that within the starting point of wanting the relationship to work. And that could even push them away even more, because you're kind of coming to them with this like newfound, beautiful, magnificent future relationship that could be created, but they're not in that space yet. So you're coming at them and they're kind of feeling like, yeah, no, but I'm not there. So they are going to resist you more. What you should do is either just give it time, let it go, or what I've done as well is just every now and then when I know I'm also ready inside myself, reach out again. But do it simple, is reach out, talk again, share, be yourself, take small steps and just show them, hey, I just want to allow me to be me with you. That's all. Doesn't matter what nature this relationship becomes in the future. may I be me with you type of thing is all you're asking. But even then, sometimes they can say no. And you've got to accept that. You've got to make peace with that. Now, coming into this new relationship, see, because of that in my life, I still felt sometimes that there was this part of me that wanted to express as a sister. And this only also came much more a bit later in my early 20s or so in my life, kind of came and gone. And just before I actually met my new family with this new sister, did I start looking at a sister relationship and how I would enjoy that and how I would express myself in it. Then I realized, well, I might not ever have that. And many of us don't. I mean, I can even understand how many grow up in their lives where they feel the sense of they would have enjoyed a brother and sister, but it's like you don't yet know what it is or could be, but you know it's there inside of you, like this flicker, this spark. And I've kind of had that in me as well. But at the same time, I also, partially because I've gotten to know myself so much better in and throughout the years of my life, walking this very process of redefining and living words, I could define myself in the words that I would like to express and live with someone and share. What of myself I would like to share within the living of the word sister. And then I saw, well, okay, if one day it never happens, maybe, when I have kids, siblings, I could show and teach a sibling relationship with a sister-sister relationship. How maybe with my kid, I could be an all-in-one, friend, sister, parent. What words I would select from those words that I could never have but become and give, even if to a limited extent, to my kids one day. And if I don't have kids, I'll create another way. Or, just eventually I went further into, but why don't you just, you can't live it to the full extent with another person. So why don't you just select some of the words and just live it for yourself? So that's what I did. And then after I did that, I met the new sister and could fulfill, in a way, the rest of the words and the parts of myself with her, which is not something that immediately happened, and it's still not to the full potential, but, it's getting there for the both of us, because I'm still learning about myself as much as she is, and in that I'm also becoming so much more inspired by looking again, at my original family relationships, however that may be, but everyone, for those who do not have brothers and sisters and who've never experienced it in your life, I've also been where you are. So have a look at how would you like to express that? What words come up for you? And have a look at redefining and living those words for yourself and sharing it with other people in your life. Maybe from there you'll get to know and understand how the brother-sister relationship really works, because everyone, this might be also a little secret of life. I'm not going to make it anything spiritual or this or that way, but just hear this. This is something I've noticed, is if you start living something, you might literally also be giving it to yourself and walking into it in your lifetime in ways where it comes through and comes out in the people you connect with in the most surprising ways, that we don't get to really live and experience the things in our lives that we know we'd like to and that represents a part of ourselves, because we always keep it suppressed only inside as bottled up feelings. It's like we've got these bottled collections in these safes of all these expressions, these experiences, these words that we want to live and experience and put out there, but instead we cork them up and screw them closed to remain and collect dust inside ourselves. And then we don't connect to anyone in our lives because of it. And then we keep feeling, but why are we missing out on these things? It's because we're not even giving it to ourselves yet. So let those dusted up bottles of expressions, of feelings, of words, break, spill over into yourself, and who knows, you might just, in a day in your life, meet people who finally relates to what you are and what you've been living and resonating in your life. You know, maybe people don't know what is in us and what we're able to express. Like for me, I didn't know when I started looking at the word sister that I was keeping in words like being comfortable to phone up in odd hours of the day or the night, or just, you know, have like a pajama party on the bed in the mornings and watch a movie and wake up eating cake because you can, because why not? You know, things like that, where it's just doing something spontaneous, different, and you both have so much fun just doing it. And then I did it for myself, of course. I did that one day where I just woke up, felt like watching a movie in bed, and I had popcorn for breakfast. That was me, morning movie day. And that's how I started my day, because it's something that I would have liked to experience with someone. You see, when you start giving yourself those things, then I started meeting someone who loves the same things, where we did it together. I say, hey, you know what I did one day? Do you want to do it with me? So I would have never gotten to experience that with myself, nor with another person, if I didn't take that first step of actually doing it and defining it inside me. All right, everyone. So much that you can learn about yourself and your relationship with other people if you allow yourself to walk this process of defining, redefining, and living words. Thank you very much.